Hi Pisces, welcome back to my channel. It's JJ. I'm here to do your December forecast. Thank you for all my new subscribers and all my viewers. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Welcome so much. And thank you so much. So this month I'm using a Celtic cross spread instead of my usual way of doing things, just to experiment and see if you guys like it more or less. Next month I'm going back to how I did things because I feel like a lot more people are comfortable with that. I'm actually even more comfortable with it. But Celtic cross spreads are great for approaching a particular theme. So I will use a Celtic cross spread in the future when I would like to explore an actual theme for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to start shuffling your cards. And once I get to a state where I feel like I've harnessed the energy, then I'll begin to lay out your cards. I sat by some water earlier on to be closer to your element. I always find it difficult to read for water signs unless I'm hydrated enough and buy water and all of that. I tend to perform better. And we'll see what there is to say about this month for you guys. So there was like a slight sense of doing the right thing, being noble. There was a sense of acting carefree as well, being slightly childlike, approaching something with innocence. I was getting that sense earlier. Don't know how this is going to relate to your reading. It might not. But that was what I got. Noble, carefree, childlike spirit. Pisces. Bit more. You mutable signs. I never really know what to say about mutable signs because you change so often. You can be quite moody. Sometimes irritable. I mean, you can be irritable to yourself. I find you quite pleasurable. You do appeal to my darker side. Okay, you guys. I think we're getting a flu. Yes. Alright. Okay. We have a central issue, a challenge, a mental thoughts card, what is beneath you, a foundation card, what is behind you in the past, what is coming in the immediate future. And let me just make room for your staff spread. This is you, how you're influencing the foundation and how you influence, or your vision, your attitude towards the central issue as well. This is what's in your environment. your hopes or your fears. Okay, and an overall outcome card. All right. Yeesh. Central issue is the Five of Swords, thievery of sorts. The complete opposite of my initial feeling of your carefree spirits, of being noble and childlike, and what is this all about? Well, this doesn't have to be you, of course, but something that you are dealing with here. This, I'm getting an impression of deception here because this person successfully steals and can steal via deception as well, and they're quite happy. They have this smug look on their face here, as though they've gotten away with something. That's your central issue here. Okay. What is crossing it is the Four of Swords, and this being your ability perhaps to not to fight this, your ability not to fight this, your ability to rest on things and to handle things in a more in a calm-like state, basically to spend some time meditating and praying and just trying to avoid conflict when you're doing this. When you go into the Hermit's repose, you have good intentions to basically just let things rest for a while. You may also be one of the people walking away in this card. Interesting. Okay. In your head and in your thoughts is this Two of Cups here. So you are clearly thinking about someone. You're thinking about someone. And you really like this person too. You're thinking about a relationship or a connection, you know, a connection that you have with a particular person. It's a positive connection though. I mean, I can't look at the Two of Cups and not think of a positive connection if there are no neighboring cards around it to suggest otherwise. Okay, I know that sounds hypocritical of me because of this Five of Swords here, and this is definitely not a friendly card as well, so I may have to go back on my words. If there are other neighboring cards that suggest that this is not a very nice relationship you're thinking of here, well, I'll bring that up. Okay. This is in your foundation, the Five of Pentacles, and it is being left out in the cold. It's a feeling of slightly being abandoned. And okay, so now I really feel more that you are one of the people walking away from this person here. You're walking away. This is a feeling of being left out in the cold. This is a feeling of branching out on your own, maybe because you have no choice, maybe because you don't feel like you're being, you feel supported anymore. So you're just going to do things on your own for a while. But you're willing to put up with it though. And you're not entirely on your own here. There's always one person who's got your back, basically. It's a feeling of lack, but it's also a feeling that this too shall pass. This is in your foundation. This too shall pass. I just feel the need to say this. Also with this card, I also get that feeling of this too shall pass. This person who's like lying down to rest here, he knows that the conflicts that are going on around him or her in his environments are not going to last for very long, and that we tend to have, we have this tendency sometimes to make things a lot worse if we spend too much time thinking about them and thinking about different scenarios and thinking about how things could have been and all of the what ifs, you know what I mean? We can make things a lot worse if we spend too much time overthinking things and daydreaming. And this person, he thinks, but he doesn't think too much. He's taking time to rest and he's giving himself a break, basically. And it comes with this attitude of this too shall pass. This usually doesn't come with that, but that was the initial feeling that I got anyway with this card, that you kind of just have to put up with the fact that you're feeling a little bit abandoned and left out in the cold, but it's nothing that you can't overcome. So now I'm thinking that this relationship was a bit of a disappointment. In the past. This Four of Pentacles suggests that you were feeling more secure in the past. That you thought in the past that you could rest on your laurels, in a sense, that you had what you needed and that was an opportunity for you to lay back because you're feeling comfortable with what it is that you have, basically, and you're also holding on tightly to what it is that you have here to make sure that those things remain safe and sound, but it's also feeling secure and feeling comfortable in your own skin and not necessarily feeling the need to expand here. It's like you're fine with what you have, but this is in the past. Okay, before I look at your immediate future outcome, I want to take a look to how you're coming to this. Well, you're being extremely mature here. You're being represented as the Empress. The Empress is someone who is really wise beyond her years. She is someone who doesn't even feel the need to continue learning. She is the instructor, actually. She's gotten to a point where she instructs other people. People come to her for advice. She stands solidly on her own ground. She knows exactly how to freshen herself up. She's definitely comfortable in her own skin. I mean, this person is an immature version of this as well, in a way. I mean this because this person is still clinging on pretty tightly to what he has, and when you do this anyway, a part of you does this because you might be afraid that others will come and take what you own away from you. So it's feeling secure as long as you are holding on tightly to what you have. But the Empress here, she feels no need to do that. She really doesn't have to do that at all. She knows what she knows, and she knows that what she that her knowledge is not something that can easily be attained by others. She's worked hard to get where she is. She's really confident. She's beautiful. She's fruitful. She can make people feel better. She is a very nurturing energy. And she's someone who can definitely do this and not worry. She's definitely someone who can just put herself out in the cold like this and know she'll be absolutely fine. She operates on her own anyway. She doesn't need a man in her life, or woman. So the combination of these two cards is a little bit staggering, just because they seem a bit opposing, because the Empress probably went through this once upon a time in her youth and overcame this, which is in your foundation. And that's why she doesn't really feel the need to like stand up from the throne that she's sitting on right now, because she's made a home for herself. It could also just suggest that you're bringing a lot of maturity to this situation, and you will be respected for this, because you're handling it with care. You're handling it in the best way you possibly can. You're handling it in a very sober manner. So as opposed to someone who's like pissed off maybe that they were unfairly treated with this Five of Swords here, instead of going off on a rant, you're handling it very well. You're handling it like the Empress here. So maybe this is a breakup, a severance of ties. In your last reading, Pisces, sorry, I don't remember too much of it except for something that stood out, and that was the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords coming together with the Ace of Pentacles. And there was also this very dubious figure of a Queen of Pentacles that also showed up. And so I do remember telling you guys to watch out for any possible deception coming from a female, because of the presence of three queens. But I also do remember suggesting that you, being the Queen of Cups at the time, harnessing this Ace of Pentacles with a Queen of Swords who was feeling rather bitter, the two of you in combination could also make up a queen. Put together are the Queen of Pentacles, wealthy, basically. But there was some sort of a struggle there. There was like a power struggle. And the Five of Cups popped up in your row of immediate future, or future in general, not really so immediate, that being a card of disappointment and loss, but not total loss. And also suggesting that a family member would be returning, or your projects would become voided. So whatever projects that you had going on with a partner would be dissolved as a result of not being able to work out the conflicts. So it's looking like at this point, this stage in the reading, that it may have not worked out for some of you. It may have not worked out for some of you, and that's why it's your challenge now just to remain calm. But ultimately, in your foundation, you're feeling quite alone and left out in the cold. But you know what? She doesn't need anyone seriously. She doesn't. Okay, so. Oh, whoa. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, there was a breakup. There was, I mean, this is in your environment. The Tower is in your environment. Sagittarius got this as well. Oh, it's making sense. So Sagittarius also got this, and now you guys are also getting it in exactly the same position of your environment. The Tower comes to crumble your foundation. And that sounds really harsh, it sounds really terrifying, but you know what? The Tower does it because the Tower loves you. There is always a need for this to happen. If something was built on shaky grounds, on an unstable foundation, it will eventually come crashing down. That's why it's really important for us to make sure that we live in a building where we know that there is regular maintenance, that we know the engineers were doing their jobs when they actually built, the civil engineers were doing their job when they built the building, that no electrical shortages are going to happen, that the architecture got all the dimensions correctly. I don't even know why I'm talking about the physical structure of a building, but the point being is that you wouldn't put yourselves in a situation or in a house which you know beforehand is going to crumble down. In the case of the Tower, something that you started once upon a time in the past, you may have believed at the time was fine or could have survived, or maybe you thought you'd handle it later, but right now it's just not making the cut, and so it's being entirely eliminated from your life, because that's what the Tower does. It forces you to vacate the building. This building is being set on fire here. Well, it's being struck by lightning. And as a result of this, your original belief behind the stability of this foundation, if it was a work thing, a job, project, relationship, it's being forced to come to an end. But it's all for the best, because if the foundation was wobbly to begin with, there's no fixing the foundation. You have to start with a solid foundation. You have to make sure that the foundation is built on solid grounds before you decide to add on to it. Okay. In the immediate future, there's this King of Cups here. And this King of Cups is a lot more emotionally stable than his fellow court cards. This person has mastered the art. Well, I mean, actually, I look at the Queen of Cups and I think that she's mastered the art of emotions. But it wouldn't be fair for me not to extend that as well to the King of Cups, because he's capable of being afloat on concrete in the middle of the frickin' ocean. So, he's got his emotions figured out. He knows how to use his or her emotions to his or her advantage. And it's a water element, so I'm not getting the impression that this is anyone else. I'm getting the impression that this is you, Pisces, coming into this emotional strength, or understanding the situation from an emotional standpoint more. If not now, you will soon. Sometime in the middle of the month, there will be a lot of time for you to reflect. I'll hold that thought. My laptop's gonna die and I just need to plug it in. Okay. Sorry about that. middle of the month, there is going to be ample time for you to think back on all the certain failures that have happened. You're going to be revisiting your relationships, not in physical form. I mean, maybe it's always possible during a Mercury retrograde that a partner from the past decides to come back in, simply because it's the retrograde period, but it's an opportunity to resolve conflicts, actually. Even though communication's not the best during a Mercury retrograde, it's not the best with people you don't know very well. It's not the best with people you meet new. Strangers, acquaintances are likely going to misunderstand you. Even family's going to misunderstand you. But if you're revisiting an old partner, then it's an opportunity to discuss how things were and how to perhaps resolve those issues. And you could do so with more emotional maturity, because you're going to have time to think about things. Okay, hopes or fears, star. It's the hope card, actually, anyway, so I can't see this as a fear at all. You're hopeful. You're extremely hopeful. And I think that some of you are hopeful that this relationship can be restored and can be healed, and it is in alignment with this star card. So I'm inclined to say that as long as you act emotionally mature about this, and you allow this crumbling of the foundation to occur, there is a chance for healing to happen, with healing of this Two of Cups to happen, and a chance to rebuild from the ground up. That's hard work, Pisces. That's not easy work. So, I mean, please don't think like, yay, star card, wish card, my wishes are going to come true and I don't have to put the effort. No, that's never the case. It's just simply saying that this is on your side. You have angels watching over you. This is the Aquarius card. Or you're hoping for an Aquarian. It's one or the other, really. Or you were in a relationship with an Aquarian and it lines up. So you're hoping for this Aquarian. Or you're hoping in general for this beautiful harmony to come through anyway, regardless of what their sign is. And yes, it will be an opportunity for you to rebuild if you wish to rebuild. And even if you wish to do this on your own entirely, why? Because you're capable anyway, as the Empress here. You can. Either way it goes and either way it plays out, this is a wonderful card to have in your hopes department. There's really nothing to be afraid of with this card, so I'm just going to completely, I'm not even going to bother thinking about how this would be a fear. As an overall outcome is the Ace of Wands. So, with the Ace of Wands, new ideas and new opportunities, and actually lots of sex. I don't usually say that with this card. I really don't, but it can sometimes give off that energy here that there is an opportunity for something fresh to happen within a relationship. It's planting seeds again, you know, for something to grow, and hopefully this time for it to grow on solid ground. Let's make sure of that. So this is wonderful overall energy outcome. It is really having a fresh start and a new idea, a new approach to things, perhaps a new approach to that voided project that appeared in your future outcome last November. Because there was an opportunity. I really remember that there was a chance of a new alliance coming together that could save things, basically. But it's really up to you, Pisces, and of course your partner, if you're dealing with a partner. I mean, if they're stubborn and they're just stuck in their ways and they don't want to move and they've just decided whatever, there's not much we can do there. But the cards are in your favor, and it looks like you're handling things in a really mature manner, and that you want this anyway. You want this new beginning. You want this fiery, passionate start to be possible again. Look at how wonderful your cards are. Maybe I can flip them over for you. Past, immediate future. Past, feeling a bit more secure and holding on to your items, your resources tightly, but it's also a sense of knowing what you have and being secure there. And that's clearly been shaken up recently as a result of this not so nice energy of someone manipulating you, perhaps taking something away from you, because this is not you. This is really not you. I really feel like you are one of these two people walking away from this person here who seems to be happy with whatever it is that they've done. But you're not having it. You're not having it. And if they expect you to fight, you're not fighting. You're deciding to just rest on it, sleep on it. You're calling truce with this card. You're letting time handle it, basically. And you know that this too shall pass, even if right now your entire foundation's been shaken up and you've had to leave the situation, or you know you've decided to leave, or you've been put in a situation where now you're left alone, feeling a little bit abandoned. It's a card of destitution, but you should also realize that there are always going to be people who've got your back. And even if you don't realize that there's someone who has your back, you're being the Empress. This is how you're approaching the reading. As the Empress, who's extremely responsible and mature and fruitful and knowledgeable. I'm just going to flip this around. Okay. Your foundation is a foundation of whatever it is that you are dealing with is crashing down, and it's being forced to be taken apart right now for you to reevaluate things, the accuracy of things, and to basically revisit a new situation with a lot more hope and vitality and optimism there, and healing of this. Can be a healing of this Two of Cups here, a healing of this relationship, which could be with an Aquarian, since it was in alignment with this card. It could be with an Aquarian, but this fell in your hopes department. So either you're hoping for things to go well with this person, regardless of their sign, or you're hoping for an Aquarian. And as an overall outcome card is this lovely, lustful energy of the Ace of Wands here. It's starting anew. It is being passionate and having a new opportunity to work with, Pisces. Awesome! Bottom of the deck is this King of Wands here. And he is quite powerful. He is noble and strong and animated. He is a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. I don't know who this person is to you, because you, in your own reading, you are the King of Cups. This might be the person who's got your back. Could be a father figure. Okay. Don't know if there's a need to clarify. We'll take a look quickly at this Two of Cups. Oh wow, look at this. Ah. You have the Lover's card and this Four of Cups now to clarify this Two of Cups. And this is telling me right now, Pisces, that there's a third party. There is someone else who is on your mind. And I'm not saying that this third party is the result of why things may have not worked out, but you may have not expected this to happen at all, but there is new love who might be intervening with this Two of Cups and the potential re-establishing of this relationship, if that was what you were hopeful for with the Star card. But again, because I got the feeling anyway when the Star card came out, okay, that either it is a rejuvenation and healing of the relationship you have in mind, or you are hoping for an Aquarian. So if you are hoping for someone else who's not in this relationship, that would justify this Lover's card coming up here, because this is new love, relatively new love, in the sense that it's still kind of in the puppy love phase. And anyway, why I want to say this even more is because the Four of Cups here, the Six of Cups, what's wrong with me? I'm sorry, the Four of Cups here is evaluating the cups in front of him, and he's being offered even more cups, and he's not really satisfied. He's not really satisfied with what it is that he has or had. So he's exploring his options. And you've got quite a few options, Pisces. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Because if this union had made you start to feel like you were being left out in the cold here, and then maybe someone came along and made you feel hopeful of the situation, or made you feel like you could move on, actually. You could move on, why not? Well, then I'm not surprised you have this decision to make. But you might not even be fully content, because this person's just not content. Or this person is a bit blind to this offering that's been made, or that's being made here. That can be this Ace of Wands. Either way though, I mean, you're gonna come out of it feeling a lot stronger, emotionally speaking. You're going to feel a lot more certain about your feelings. or you're just going to realize that you are worthy of being pursued here. So I mean, even if you still feel like this, because it's in your foundation, it doesn't dissolve in a day. I mean, especially since it's the foundation upon the rest of this reading. At some point, you're going to realize that you understand the situation more. You're going to feel a lot more emotionally grounded. So yeah, that's good news. Okay, you guys, that's what I have for you for this December reading. Happy, Merry Christmas and New Year's. I will see you in 2017. Let me know if you enjoyed this reading. Thumbs me up if you did. And leave me a comment if you felt like this resonated with you. If you want to share your opinion, your story, go ahead. I would like that. And yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for being a part of my channel and for making this possible. I really love you so much. For all your encouragement and your support. It means the world to me. Thank you guys so much. Okay. Namaste. Bye guys.